Howdy, y'all.
Hmm.
Welcome to this edition of FraxCheck, your weekly Frax Vibe check. I'm your host, DeFi Dave, filling in this week for Capital K, and I'm here beside my valiant co-host, Traders Insight, Sam McCullough.
Hello.
This week, I'm taking the reins of FraxCheck. We're going to have a little bit of fun, have a different spice, have a different color per se, and that is why this week we're calling it Gangrene. And you'll see why.
Scene green.
Gangrene.
Oh, gangrene. Yeah.
Gangrene.
Gangrene.
Gangrene. After my, valiant favorite New York Jets. Gangrene. Anyways, let's get this rolling. Let's get the flywheel spinning here. We start off every week with the supply, and the supply is currently unchanged at $1 billion in circulation. We've been holding steady there for a long time, and we are continuing to hold steady at 1 billion fracs in circulation. Next slide, please. Next up, we got the collateral ratio, and in fact, we are down. We are down to 94.75% on the collateral ratio. That may be because of price action, but the team has initiated a buyback of 20 million FXS over the course of the next 5 months, basically putting a floor to the price, hopefully. And so we'll see what happens there. And like we said last week, history is repeating itself all over again. Next up, we have the decentralization ratio. Can you go back, please?
Sure.
Decentralization ratio, which is at 21.83%. We're just down a little bit, but not too much there. So, holding strong. Next slide. Next up, we are a stablecoin, so we got to do that peg check. And the peg is indeed tight at a high of $1 and a low of 0.999999. We'll throw it back. Who's that guy? Herman Cain. Was that guy's name? Mr. 999? We're at 999. And as you see on the curve swap, you got to go to the source itself. We're at 0.9975 for, if you do like a big switch up of 100 million fracs, pretty good. So peg is indeed strong. Next slide, please. Next up, got to go to FrxBP. Got to see that TVL, and the TVL is down a little bit. We're at $606 million in TVL in the FrxBP pool, but we're down 4.4%. We look at the volume and utilization. We are at 5.47 million in monthly volume with a utilization of 0.9%. Next slide, please. Now, as you can see the comparisons, FraxBP pulling it ahead away with $607 million in circulation. The three pool has been doing nothing but going down, down, down. We expect that to keep going down into the future. Everything looks the same here. FraxBP is at 112 million. FraxCRV is at 108 million, and three pool is at 362 million. So numbers steady there.
There you go.
Yep. Next slide. All right. Now we're going to my alma mater, BrainDAO. We're doing the IQ check. A little bit of background on IQ. It was founded by Sam Kazemian as his first product, a encyclopedia turned blockchain encyclopedia. If you want to learn about anything crypto related, that is your source. They offer this unique staking product, High IQ. We can stake your IQ and participate in IQ governance, where they have a pretty meaty treasury that you can take governance over. So how it works is built basically a fork of the VE-FXS system. You can stake between 1 week, 4 years, voting power 4x over 4 years, and it decays linearly. So let's see those numbers. The IQ staking APR, we're down a little bit because you know what? People are indeed staking. We're at 112%, 112% APR with that. So, if you have some IQ, because there's a lot, we got like a solid amount of IQ holders on chain. You're basically missing out if you're not on here. But, there's a, nice little APR to be had. And of course, you have some there's other yield opportunities with, adding liquidity to FraxSwap and whatnot. So there's opportunities for IQ on chain. Next slide, please. Next up, the treasury is down a bit, probably taking a hit with the rest of the market. It's at 13.6 million with a 11.4% down. You can see in the treasury, pretty diverse, pretty rich. We got some mostly FrxETH, but also, of course, IQ, some convex token, convex IQ Frax. You got a million Frax and FraxLend being utilized right there. And of course, you have, Frax IQ, some in like the sushi swap pool. And of course, in the rest of the treasury, you have some Frax on hand, some WBTC, and some ETH. So solid treasury, indeed. Next slide. We are back up. We are back up a little bit in the green with FrxETH up 1.17%. We had a little dip back last week. You can't be up only all the time. With every up, there is a down. With every step back, you take 2 steps forward. So, a little step forward. We love to see it. With the curve pool and FrxETH, we are down 3% with FrxETH, probably because of the lower yields, and up in the curve pool. So the curve pool LP is increasing in its liquidity, which is good to see. And the monetary premium has gone unchanged at 9%. All right. And, FrxETH is a stable coin, so we got to check that peg. And we got a peg of 0.9975, which is pretty good. But what's interesting here at the curve swap is there's like a little gain. Whoa. There's a little premium. Would you really love to see that? So you got a premium of like 1.7%, which is like pretty cool to see. This is a flywheel first. Gangrene. You love to see it. Gangrene. Sam, reaction of seeing that?
It's pretty nice, actually. I think it's incentive to get people to come in, and that's a pretty crazy imbalance, 2080. So
yeah,
if you're looking for some free alpha, free yield on
free yield,
just swap.
Not financial advice. Free yield. Next slide. Get the flywheel going. Next up, we got the market share, which remains unchanged as 2.33% in the market. We are now up a bit, 8% over 30 days and 1% over the past 7 days. So, we took a little step down. Now we're back up. And, we love to see that number going up indeed.
We're going to crack 1 billion by the end of the year.
Crack 1 billion. Didn't you say by July we would try to overtake Rocket Pool?
They put on a lot, right? They had like 400,000 ETH once they removed the collateral count. But I'm going to hold all my expectations back until the FraxGov is added. And, also the implementation and potentially the implementation of FrxETH v2. I think the biggest knocks on Frax is like the validators are being run in Sam's basement.
Yeah.
And that there's just some other stuff. So with FrxETH v2, all that changes, and the security model is going to be flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. More decentralization. Make the institutions feel more comfortable, as we were talking about with some people today.
Oh yeah.
Slower is better.
Where we got these hats, beautiful hats.
We got some Flywheel hats. If you're going to be in Waterloo at ETH Waterloo, we're actually having an event. Flywheel, Frax, Barachain guys, in Code 4 Arena. So we're going to have about 20 of these hats. So if you're in Canada, come on down. We'll save you. They're really comfy.
They are very nice.
Yeah. Shout out Griff Shop.
Oh, those are nice. These are actually really high quality, actually. It's a nice feeling.
Yeah. Next slide, please. All right. And back on top in our rightful position as the highest staking LSD yield at 5.22% APY as compared to its competitors stake-wise at like 4.75%, Anchor at like 4.20, nice, Lido's at 3.80, and Rocket Pool is at nearly 3%. So good to see Frax in its rightful position at top of the yield game. Next slide. And next up, we have Sam's favorite product. We have FPI, and it remains unchanged as supply, but FPI is indeed up 0.12%. So there you go. There you have it. The equity in FPI is 4 million, and Treasury TVO remaining strong there. So FPI still holding up.
Still holding up. Eventually, it will go up.
Yeah, eventually. Next slide. And we are indeed down here in the utilization. 46%, which is interesting to see. The TVL of Fraxland is at $206 million with $56.3 million borrowed. But 20%, over 20%, that's pretty big right there. What are your thoughts on that?
I think most of it was just Michael paying back some of his loans.
Yeah.
He's been paying them down just to get his utilization down, bring
Yeah.
it down a bit more.
Yeah. A man who pays his debts.
Yeah.
We love
Don't
to
worry.
see it.
I mean, if you're worried about the whole CRV situation, like Michael can just pay
Michael is handling it.
I'm sure he's got several tens of millions just stashed away farming somewhere that he could pull back.
Yeah. Next slide. And we are talking about CRV, and that is a nice yield at 16.83% of organic, pure 100% USDA grade yield.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I need to put some facts in that.
And then you got Geom, which is always up there a bit at almost 10%, which you really like to see.
It's been pretty steady.
Pretty steady, yeah. The FrxETH supply rate has gone down a bit, so maybe a good time if you want to lever up on your FrxETH. Maybe a good time. Not financial advice. And then everything else is in the pretty low percent. FrxETH always a good option for those trying to get a little bit more yield. But yeah, Fraxland is my personal favorite product. So
low. You can essentially borrow for nothing.
Yeah. Next slide. And then we got FraxSwap. Frax is one of Frax's other killer products. And we are up bigly in its TVL at 15.7%, with volume up to 34.5%. I mean, 34.5 million. Oh, there, 35% in volume, which is you like to see it. That's pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah. It's almost 50% utilization right there. Top spot volumes. You got a lot of action on FrxETH this week. Frax chain news, other hype. A lot of people coming in trying to do things. Next up, we have, of course, Frax FPIS. It's a little bit of volume. IQ Frax, almost 1 million volume. That's a lot of volume. And then you got 0.62 million, so 620,000 for FrxETH, for Frax and ETH pair. FrxETH pair. Sounds like FrxETH pair. FrxETH pair. Okay, there we go. Now, guys, profitability section. And right now, the AMO is down just a little bit at 0.02%. The total amount in the AMO is $836.7 million.
Very cool.
Very cool. And AMO Convex. And this month, we are up 332,000. You really love to see it.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sure.
The month isn't even done yet.
The month isn't done yet, and we're up 332,000. That's nice to see, because it's just been I feel like we've just been either breaking even or down a little bit each month. So it's good to see it finally take a turn.
That's great.
Yeah. Making money. And then we have the Fraxland AMO. We are up a little bit in 0.01 million Frax. So it's just is it 10,000?
Still, I mean, the Fraxland revenues are great.
Yeah, $22,000 a week. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. June revenue for liquidations. Pour one out for our friends. There, $250,000 in revenue, which is translates to, is it 10% or 8% of fees in liquidation? So it's 10% of 200. Yeah, that's 2.5 million. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
There was a couple of big Frax shareholders that got liquidated.
Yeah. Ugh, pain.
Thankfully, it wasn't me.
So, yeah. Got out just in time.
I
just in time liquidity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. FPI monthly revenue. FPI chugging along with nearly $10,000 in revenue this month. You really like to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then so this brings us to our total. If you add everything together, the combination of convex being up and the liquidations plus FrxETH, of course, you have $551,469 in revenue. Gangrene, everyone. We're in gangrene so far this month.
That's pretty crazy that we're earning $200,000 in FrxETH fees.
Yeah.
Right? And then, that's with what, 200,000, 220,000 ETH. Like when we get to $1 million, that's going to be like over $1 million a month in fees.
Yeah.
For that. I think I'm really excited to see the flywheel kick in. Like as we get more assets.
No pun intended.
Yeah. As the TVL kicks up, like the amount of money that comes in for once we start distributing back to Fractures holders again, it's going to be pretty significant. Like you think about, in a fully formed state, FrxETH V2 could potentially bring in like, I don't know, somewhere between $3 to $5 million a month, plus everything else. Fraxland at that point, like once the leverage starts kicking in, looking good.
Looking real good. Yep. Next slide. And that is it for this week. We're up. We're green. We're not mean. We're nice people. And if you want to keep up with us every week, make sure you hit that bell button, subscribe, give us a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. You can follow us on Twitter at FlywheelDeFi. Join our Telegram at FlywheelDeFi. Discussions are going on in there. Make sure you subscribe to your Substack, FlywheelDeFi.com. You can follow me on Twitter at DeFiDave22.
And I'm at Traders_Insight.
And we'll see you next week. Peace.